Hey, we're live here. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so it's probably going to take me a couple of minutes to kind of get reacclimated and make sure everything's working good here. But yeah, so my plan for anybody who's here, thanks Chris, sweet loading screen. Yeah, so my plan is to just build some stuff with Bard, which is a field type in Statamic. If you're probably not here if you haven't heard of Statamic. So it's basically flat file CMS that me and the rest of my team at Wilderborn build and support. And Bard is our block editor. It's kind of like Medium or Gutenberg on WordPress. It's a flexible field that lets you write and also insert other block content into your writing. So yeah, we're going to build some stuff. We're going to configure it and kind of show you how to put that stuff together. Thanks, Austin. Yeah, I am. It's kind of no secret if you follow me on Twitter. I'm a big 80s nerd, and yeah, like the further the web progresses, the more I like regress aesthetically and just want everything to look like 8-bit graphics and want to play old text adventure games again. So, yeah. But yeah, we just launched Statamic 2.11 yesterday. We'll go to, and we just put a bunch more work into Bard, which is our field that we're going to be going over together that I'm going to be showing you, and really put a lot of effort into making sure that the markup is really solid and that the experience is really good and it's easy to set up. And so we're going to get to look at some of that stuff here today. Now I just got to give me a second. I'm going to try and figure out how many people are actually watching. This screen I have up here doesn't tell me that. Just want to make sure we have like more than just 2 before I get going. Yeah, aren't you glad the election's over? I didn't even look at the results. Just tired of all the tweeting. All right, so let's see. We have, I don't know, all these live streaming apps, and like, if you've ever done this, it's really like, it's terrible. Like this, this software is so bad. It's just a really terrible, grim experience trying to get all this stuff set up. You'd think that it would be simple by now, but it's not. Let's see. Maybe I can just like click on my own tweet. Yeah, let's just do that. Everybody can hear me okay? All right. Yeah, we've got like a dozen people watching. Let's just get going. This will be recorded. If you want to watch it another time, that's cool. But yeah, so let's just dive right into it. I've got a Statamic site set up. Kind of get my Windows set up here. Yeah. Sound video is great. Thank you. I was afraid that it wasn't working right at all. So let's get going. Basic site, I've set up a collection for our articles, which is going to contain the posts that we'll be creating, and we'll use that interface here. We're going to be building up this particular field so that we can build whatever we want on the article view. So I just have this really, really basic kind of 80s retro theme set up, and there's just 2 templates. I've got, this home page that just loops through our collection, and I've got the, hang on, this is really distracting, this window here. All right, so I'm looping through my articles and just creating a link to them, and these are showing just the header because we've got this default template and I've got no content. So we'll just pop open one of these, bring back Text Adventure Games, and let's start defining audio's great. Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've got my I can see the comments. Great. So if anybody on YouTube or Twitch, if you want to say anything, jump in. I can see that very easily. Okay. So we're going to create a Bard field. And so I've got this page builder set. We're going to use this one page builder for basically the entire site. And coming down here, we just have our title, date, and slug, and which is kind of like the basics. And then we'll just make a Bard field. And we'll call it article content. And then we're going to go into the extras, and this lets us configure the toolbar and the settings for the actual editor experience. So let's take a look here. Lists, formatting, block quotes, all that stuff's good. Yeah, we'll leave block quote on. Link. I'll add an H4, and yeah, that looks good. We'll leave it sans serif. We'll have the spell checker on, and yeah, let's use semantic elements like the strong and M tag instead. And that should pretty much do it. So we've got our Bard container here, and now we can start to create some sets inside of it. So let's just save. Andre, what's up, man? How you doing? All right, so I'm going to have two windows open here. I'm going to configure the field set and then also kind of refresh an article so you can see what's happening on the actual like publish view layout. So what we've done is we've now created this article content field. Lee, Art Snacks, what's up, buddy? How's Art Snacks going? Hang on, quick pimp for my buddy Lee Rubenstein here. Artsnacks.co. If you're an artist, Lee and I have been friends since we were like 6 years old, and he now runs this totally awesome art subscription box service. And for a totally reasonable monthly fee, you get like a box of art supplies every month, and there's a whole community around it where people like share what they create with the supplies, and oh man, it's awesome. It's really good gifts this time of year. Sign up, like buy someone a subscription. That's really cool. Art Snacks. All right, back to Bard. This is what we've done. We've created a field here. Let me just get some lorem ipsum. You bet. Okay, so when you highlight text, you get this pop-up here, more lorem ipsum. You can add links and, you know, all that stuff. So we've created basically this core editor, and then if we save that and we go to our hello, let's see, save and continue, bring back Text Adventures, you can see now we've created this article content, and it has saved a string. Okay, so we've created basically just some really basic markup. So if we go to our default template and we replace this article content here, upload our page or update our page, we now have an H2 and some text content and a link. Now this is great if you just want a super basic markup, like a HTML editor that writes really good markup. You can toggle it into full screen, but that's not what I want to focus on. So let's basically reset this a little bit, go back to our page builder, and we're going to create some blocks that we can drop into that. So if all you want is just some text content, that's great. We're going to level this up. So first set we want to do is like be able to drop an image in there. So we'll call it like simple image, and then we'll make a new field in this set, and it'll be an asset field, and we'll call it image, and let's see, it'll be for one image from our main asset container, and we'll close that, save, and then let's come back and see what we did. All right, let's say we wanted to add an image here. So now when we're on a new line break, you see this plus icon. And the plus icon will give you all of the sets that you create, and then that lets you enter whatever data, whatever those field types do, and then you can write some template code, some HTML around that. So if we were to create a simple image, we get our image picker, where we can now decide to pick, like, why are those thumbnails broken? That's weird. Stranger Things. Click save, and then if we look at our content again, we've gone from a string to an array. Okay, so once you have sets, your actual data type changes. So you've got an array, which means we're going to need to loop through this array in order to render it. So if we come back to our site and we refresh it, you're not going to see anything because we're not looping. So come back, loop through article content, and let's take a look at how this saves. Yeah. Artsnacks is totally rad. Okay, so each content block here gets added to a text key of the type text. So every single set that you create inside Bard has a type. That's like the name of the set that you created. And so in your code, you just check if type is this, if type is that, and you can write your own markup. So if type is text, we just want to render the text. Pretty simple. Refresh. And now we're back to here. Okay, so we've got our text being rendered out onto the page. And then we can write a check for simple image, right? If type equals simple image, we're going to add an image tag, simple image, and whoops, refresh. Oh, sorry. If type is simple image, the actual variable name was image. Okay, so image. And I have a space inside here. Yeah. There we go. So now we have this image. So the great thing by pulling out the image from your markup, like you could certainly write HTML with an image tag right in line, right? You can use the redactor, regular old WYSIWYG to do that. But by structuring that, you can start to treat your images differently. So we could go back into our set and add some more fields around this. So if we want, let's say we want to have like a width picker. And so let's add a radio, pickable radio. Let's see, we're going to call it width. And then our options are going to be small. So that would be, we're using Tailwind. So we're literally going to have this write Tailwind classes for us. So we're going to do small. Medium, large, and let's save that, come back. Now our simple image has extra controls. So let's say small, save that. Now we have this width variable, and we can add class max width, and then center it. Oh, like that's not going to center it, right? Actually, do div class mx. CSS, man. Sometimes, nope, text center. Okay. And maybe we want to treat images a little bit differently, so we'll give it some extra bottom and top margin. You know, maybe a little bit more. And then we can come back here and save, refresh, etc. Okay, so maybe we want, seems like we want the default state to kind of fill the container, right? So let's go back in, update our width, and let's say small. Let's say small, inline, and oversized. Auto, extra large. Come back here, refresh, open that up, inline, and then the inline should be, if I did that right, let's take a look at the class here. Max width auto. Is that like a, oh, well, because it's centered now. So let's see, how do I want to do that? Max width, width full, if we just said like width full. Yeah. That's good enough. I think you get the idea. All right, let's just check Twitter real quick. Nope, I don't think we have questions coming in on Twitter, do I? Nope, all right, onwards. So we've got an image control. You could have caption and summary and other stuff in here. I like to put metadata on my images themselves. So if you edit the image, you can set like alt text here. So we'll do like 8-bit Stranger Things, Stranger Trings. Okay, and then over here we can get the alt tag, get alt like that, refresh, and yeah, 8-bit Stranger Things. Cool, so now we have an image picker. Let's do, let's see, what else is on my list here of things to build. Also, throw in any requests. If you want to see me build something with Bard, I'll see if I can do it. But otherwise, let's do like a video. Video could be next. Like video embed. So we'll make a new set. Right here, hit the new set button, video embed. Actually, let's do, I like doing a broad blanket, throwing a wide net, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So we'll do raw HTML, just call it HTML. And then I'll add like a text area field, call it HTML, and we'll save that. If type is HTML. And this will just let us render whatever we want in there. And that's different than, I know the code looks basically the same as the text, but we're not using the Bard editor for that part. So coming back to our content, come down here. If we want to write some more things, and then add a block of HTML in here. Like maybe we want to do, oh, that's funky. Take a look at that. What's an example? Tweet, like we want to embed a tweet. Let's embed something. I don't know. Here's the thing. Embed this tweet about new Statamic add-on. So drop that in there, save, come back. Cool. So now we have this HTML embed. And now I'm looking at my CSS, and that is a little bit derpy. I got distracted. Let's see. I should probably do it. All right. Or not. Not super important. All right, so now we have an HTML embed. What else? We can do maybe like a nice big block quote. So we'll add another set. Big block quote. Or maybe we'll call it like a customer quote, or like a big quote. Let's call it big quote. And then inside here, maybe we'll put a markdown field, and we'll do, turn the cheat sheet on, why not? And then we'll add another text field for the site. And we'll come back here. Yeah, sometimes HTML like does some fun preview stuff. We'll just expand all these. All right, more things. And now we have this big quote where we can write do or do not. There is no try. And that is Yoda. So we're going to save that. If type equals, was it big quote? Let's add, let's see. Has anybody seen this? This has been driving me nuts all day. Adam's just like throwing errors when I write HTML, and it's like unclosed. It's super weird. All right. Div class. I'm going to add black background, some padding, some margin, some border left, border green, maybe. And we'll do quote markdown, and then we'll put the site in here. Let's just see what happens. Something went wrong. Oh, okay, well I know what it is. But if you see something went wrong and you're working on dev, we'll just take this opportunity to do a little live debugging. You're going to want to turn your debug mode on, which I'll show you what that is in the control panel. Okay, unexpected else if, or missing an else. This is in your site settings debug, or if you're in the control panel settings system or debugging, right there, debug mode. You want that on in dev so you know like what it is you did wrong. All right, so close that if, save it, and here we go. We've got a nice little block quote, and maybe we'll add, make it not a p tag so we don't get that bottom margin automatically. Yeah, looks good. And maybe this, we'll do text large and then uppercase, text small down here. Boom. Looks pretty sweet. All right. I mean, this is how you do Bard. You can move these blocks around and delete them. Delete that HTML block. Write some more things. Make lists. Okay, so now that we've got it working, right? I think if you've done any amount of Statamic work, you can kind of understand how you just mix and match and rematch all these different fields and create these sets, right? Next, I want to dry up this markup, and so you can have, so you don't have this giant block of if statements, and also if you want to reuse this field somewhere else in a different template, you don't want to have to copy and paste this all over and over again. So what we're going to do is refactor it into partials. So what I normally do is create a new folder called sets or blocks. We'll call it blocks today. And then inside blocks, I'm going to have a block for every one of these different types in the set. Okay, so, and they're going to be named the same as the variable name. So we're going to have one called text, and then going to have another one called simple image, and another one called, I guess, HTML.html. That's fun. And then we'll have big quote. And then inside those, we'll just drop text goes in text. This goes inside simple image. They're not actually give that a, yeah, that's funny. File extension, HTML. Boom, big quote goes inside big quote. I lost for a second. And then we delete all of this and then just say partial source is blocks type. So we're going to use the variable inside here so that it's going to map to these. And if we did this right, it should still work. Huzzah. There we go. So now this is all you need to render this entire block builder. Anywhere you want in any template, we could bring it back to the home page and put it, well, the home page is over here. Put it down here, or like replace the content with that and then use the same field set. We could do that in like index page builder and go to the home page. And what does it say right now? Well, I already just kind of nuked that, right? Here we go. And grab that, come here, save. All right, so now we've refactored the home page to use this same loop, and now we can put other stuff in here. Commodore 64. Drop an image. There we go. Build an entire site this way. Just create pages using that same field set, render with the same template, and rearrange and drag and drop and do all sorts of stuff. So that's basically how Bard works. There's a lot of other little things you can do to optimize it, like all these different settings. Like the no opener and no refer are used when you're like using target blank. You want links to open in a new window. That's like for SEO and for security stuff. There is a serif font style if you want it to look more like a book. And so then it looks like that. These big chunky headlines. I prefer the GitHub style one myself. Yeah. Anybody else have anything you want to see before I sign off? I mean, I accomplished what I set out to do, and that's Bard. If not, that's okay. Don't have to go on and on and on for hours. All right, well, just to rust off my live streaming lack of skills, and hopefully this was useful, and I will catch you next time when I probably do something a little bit more elaborate. All right. How do I end this?